Hello friends, my name is Hamid. Today I'm working on a double wall oven made by Miele. The customers requesting to replace the broil element on it and the convection element. The model number on this unit is H4892BP2. And I'm going to show you the model and serial number first. When you open the door, the model and serial number is right here. That's the model and serial number. The reason we are replacing the broil element today is that the broil element is not in good shape. It's also not working properly. You see it's kind of sinking down. And the customer is also complaining about the convection. The bottom oven does not maintain its temperature, and the convection element is very common on these. The convection element is located right there. When you receive the convection element, it also comes with a tiny gasket. This is the gasket insulation. And of course, this is our broil element. The way it looks. The broil element goes right here. And of course, the convection element goes at the back. I'm going to replace the broil element first on this unit. In order to replace the broil element, we're going to have to remove the door. To remove the door, you see these clips on the hinge. Bring it out like that. And this one, bring it like this. And then lift up the door. See, you cannot close it anymore because you added these clips, the hinge clips. You cannot close the door anymore. You feel a little bit of resistance here. I have a blanket here. I put my door here. I'm gonna install the broil element first, and then I'll put my door back in, and then we're gonna remove this door and replace another convection element right there. Can you turn off the power, please? Thank you. In order to replace the broil element or any of the porcelain element especially, you have to turn off the oven completely from the breaker. You can unplug it if you have a plug, or usually it's turned off by the breaker. Okay, the power is off now. We're gonna get inside of the oven. The first thing we want to do is we have to remove the screws. The drill bit we are going to use on this screw is the Torx T20. Torx number 20. Looks like this. Once you remove these two Torx screws, we're gonna open this bracket right here. Now we know that the broil element is loose. You can pull it out a little bit. Again, double check to make sure the power is off. You want to be safe here. Okay, you pull it out that much. At the same time, you want to put a towel or a rubber mat. I have it. I do not want to cause any scratch marks on the cavity of the oven. It's always a good practice to be careful with not scratching the ceramic paint on the oven, so always use protection. And then from here, you can see all the wires. There's 2 wires on the right, 2 on the left. One is the temperature sensor at the center, and this far left hand side is the ground one. We're gonna have to disconnect these one by one. The hardest and trickiest part is this sensor we're gonna have to remove, and then removing these wires are easy. You can kind of pull it out a little bit more. You can turn the sensor a little bit like that and pull it out. Once you disconnect the plastic on the temperature sensor from this area, you can work on your electrical wires. This temperature sensor, you want to stick it inside of this tube and push it all the way in. Once you know your electrical wires are connected, double check all 5 of them and press it from the top to make sure they're tight, they're not loose, because loose connection may burn the element again or cause more damage. You also check your temperature sensor from the back and push it back in, and then after that you can lift up your broil element. Slowly lift it up and push it back until you see this hole lining up with that nipple. Here, that's good. You keep bringing this all the way up until you see the element is getting attached to both sides of this. You see these? The more you retight this, it's tight now. If the holes are not lining up, you can always play around with your element base by holding it like this. You can take it back and forth. Once you line up the screw holes, you add your screws back in. Now I can reinstall my door back in. You see these hinges? Those hinges will get inserted on those slots, and you push the door down, open it, and then after that you can close those steel brackets. Remember to always hold your oven from both sides of the door. Do not hold it from the handle, because if you hold it from the handle, it may damage the glass. You hear that click noise? You open the door. this. Now you can close your door slowly, because this is the first time, even if you did not open and install your door back in, if you close it faster and harder, and if it's not sitting properly from the bottom hinge, it's gonna cause issues. So for the first time, when you close the door, just go in slow motion, close it like that. Now you know that the door is closing. Okay, it's not hitting the top. There's not a big difference between here and there. You know that the door is installed back in properly. You can open it and close it back again. And you can also do this, the same thing in front of the customer, to make sure they know that the door is okay. And now we're going to open this bottom and remove the door and replace the convection element inside. Remember, I had to lift this up just like that. Leave it there, see, like that. And the same thing on this side. Hold it, bring it all the way to the front. Sometimes they're old, and if they're rusty or greasy, it's hard to open. You can always use a needle nose plier from the bottom or a flat screwdriver and lift it up. You may need to force it a little bit, but this oven is in good shape, so I don't have to do that. Just in case, if they're not opening properly or it's hard to open, you can always add a flat screwdriver at the bottom and pry it like that, and then it gets open. So now I'm gonna open this door. I'm gonna close it until it stops. See, it stops right there. And then from here, you may wanna hold it from left and right, lift it a little bit more up, and then pull it out. You wanna protect the bottom of the oven first, and then you can bring your tools in. In order to get to the convection element, you have to open all of these Turks. There's four of them. You have to open all of them. You can completely remove this panel if you want, or you can leave it like that and open your screws from the convection element base. And then there's also one screw. They're all the same size screw. It's right here holding the element in place. You can also tell by looking at the shape of the convection element that it's defective, but you do not have to assume that the part is defective. If you look at the shape of it, or sometimes you get damage and tiny smoked holes in there and here. That can also tell you the convection element is bad. And you pull it out. Here's the new element. And of course we got this insulation. Do not forget to add this back in. Insulation just like that. And have it ready on the side. In order to disconnect the electrical wires from the convection element, you can do the same thing. Do not pull hard on the element because it may pull the wires out from the back. You can use your hand and go back and forth, disconnect the wires. When you remove your wires from the old convection element, it's possible that you may increase the size of the hole on the connector itself. But when you reinstall it back in, you want to check that, because if the inside of the hole where the connector is has increased while you're pulling it out or using pliers, it may cause problems. So if you see it bigger size than normal, you may want to use a needle nose plier to pinch it in a little bit. That way it will go to its original position. If for some reason you know that it's hard to reinstall these connectors back into the convection element pin, you may want to use a needle nose plier to hold it from the back, hold it tight, and then move it back and forth in this position and then bring it in. The same thing here. And do not forget to add your ground wire. This green that goes at the center is your ground wire. Just to show you that all of the electrical wires are connected firmly and they're in good shape. Remember the way the insulation is at the back of the element. You may want to use 2 fingers at the bottom to line it up with the screw holes, and then take your convection element inside. Please do not retighten these 2 screws until you add this screw fully, because you may have to do a little bit of adjustment here. And now you're okay to retighten it. It's possible that you may reinstall this in a wrong position. By saying in wrong position is that you see these 2 tiny clips here. The filter sits on top of this. If you flip it, you can still install it in an okay position, but you will not be able to put your filter back in. So remember, you only want these 2 clips staying down, not up. If you install it in the wrong position, then both of these would come in this higher position, up straight, then that's the wrong way. So pay attention on this back cover. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like my videos and share it with others. If you have any question, you can comment below, or you can also follow me on Facebook. It's called Hamid Appliances Repair. Thank you.